Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to Marina Love Tarot. Today I am letting you guys know how to shuffle. I was gonna say properly, but that is not the proper way to shuffle your cards. This wasn't meant to be a serious, but the phrase "this is not a shuffling video" that I said in the previous one got stuck to me, and I realized that I really wanted to let you guys know how to shuffle your cards. Things to take in consideration. First, if you are reading for yourself or for somebody else, because I usually do not recommend to hand over your deck to anyone. I used to do that, and I didn't appreciate the way consultants took my cards. I always remember that when you hold a deck, it's your work tool. It doesn't matter if you're getting paid because you're doing it for somebody else, or if you're doing it for yourself. This is a working tool, and it's nice to take into consideration that they are not meant to be damaged. I mean, one thing is of course, decks are not gonna be as good as new every day, but do not damage them on purpose. Some people don't do them on purpose, but they can be really hard on their cards. If you are reading for somebody else, mostly people are most focused on their question, and they have a heavy energy and they take it on their cards even without knowing. So that's why I do not like to hand over the deck to anyone else. Also, they tend to do this a lot in order for the cards to blend. They do this kind of movement that it's submission to the edges, or they use this kind of casino style, and they bend the cards a lot. They bend a lot with a lot of strength, and then all cards get bended, and I don't like that. So take into consideration that this is your tool, and it's okay if you don't want to hand them over to somebody else. If you want them to take the energy of the cards, you can always pull this face down and just let them pick the cards that you need to make the reader, or to make the reading. Always remember that cards are upright, or they are upright or reversed for you, or for the one that's doing the reading, not for anyone else. Also, there are ways that you can make sure you get reversals. If you only read upright, there are makes you can make sure, or almost sure, that they are usually upright. Let's start with the jumping cards method. But as I gonna say, make sure that if you want them only to be upright, first make sure. I did this just because this was a video to show you guys how to do it. But first, make sure that all cards are upright. My teacher used to say that it's important to have all the cards upright and to make sure that the deck is on the right order. I don't do that, but she used to say that if you're doing a consult for anyone else and you do not put your deck in order, it's like inviting someone to a tea party and not cleaning your house and not brushing your teeth. That's what my teacher used to say. That it's important that the deck is right. And she used to say that the deck represents the psyche of your consultant, so it's important that they are rightfully ordered before they come. But I no longer do that. I used to do that a lot, but since I stopped having consultants in my house, I stopped doing that. So that's for you to know. If you want to read for somebody else, you can always put your you can always put the cards down and face down and let them pick. You do not, or at least you are not, there is not any obligation. You are not forced to give your deck to anyone else if you don't want to, especially if you know that the person is strictly very nervous or anxious, because they tend to damage the cards, and cards are a tool, and they need to be taken care of. If you want to, if you not, you can always buy as many decks as you want, and but you don't need to be extra careful. But it's nice to take that into consideration. ways to shuffle your cards now. Let's start with the most popular I've seen here on YouTube is jumping cards, because they give the illusion that spirit is choosing the card for you, which is not usually the case, but it gives that illusion that, oh, this is a card that was meant to flow out, so this card is for you. Sometimes I do. When that happens, sometimes I do feel like it's the right call, but not always and not usually. So the only thing you need to do for the gun to sharp is just to be quite loose with your hands and fast, so it's more chaotic. If you start doing this in a fast way, they will turn. They almost did. I since I don't like it, and that's not the most that's not the method I use most. I tend to it's unconscious. I tend to order them, but yeah, if you do it like fast and loose, like you let them, they will turn over and then they will eventually jump. I don't like doing that, but that's how you do it. You just let the cards flow and just do it a bit quicker, and they will jump. Eventually they will turn over, and they will turn over. You will see them, and that will leave the illusion that someone is choosing them for you, but they are not. They are not. If you do it like this, also when you do not change, they will always be upright. If you want to make sure that you have cards reverse, you can always just do your cuts and just shuffle them, and you have half the deck right and upright, half the deck reversed. But that's the way, just like this. You just go slowly and then faster, faster, faster. And eventually one card will jump, even if it's not like on purpose, one card will jump. See, I subconsciously just tends to put the deck back together because I don't like that. But that's the way, just start slowly and then go faster, 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 and then one card will eventually jump. One will. You do not need to pay too much attention. I do it. It's like subconsciously I tend to put the deck back in order. See, this almost came and I pick it up, but that's the way. So this way, without shuffling, changing on purpose, the cards to be reversed, they will be all upright. In the casino style, also they will be upright. But in order for that to work, you need to make sure that cards are facing the same place. If you the same place, meaning like, see how the heads are both facing here, they are both facing the right side of the video, but if you do that, they won't. They won't change. It's like all the deck will stay all upright. If you want to do that, you just need to make sure that the bottom of the card is facing the same way, and they will stay upright or not. If you want reversals or if you want reversals, you can always do this and then just turn the deck and shuffle. And that way they won't. If the cards this way you have the almost same amount of reverse that you reverse or upright. But let's see. What else in this method? Oh, if you are worried of the bending cards, as I say, because usually when you give your card to somebody else, they don't pay attention. But if you are doing it for yourself, you can always do this. You don't need to apply much strength. And usually when you take this long enough, you will realize that this part of your finger gets thicker. And that way, the cards do not usually bend, but if you are starting and you pay too much strength, then you can always just do this with the cards facing you, and they will bend more appropriately. You just need to more appropriately in a way that they are not damaged or bent, because they start to get bended like this, and that's not good enough. Well, it is, but it's normal, but it's good to be sure you can use the deck as much as you want without it being damaged. Because when you do it a lot, they will bend. But so you just face them are looking for yourself. The only thing you need to do is to apply a little bit of strength so they are a bit bent, and then make sure they are properly shifted, and then you just accommodate, put them out together with using your strengths. I'm sorry. I set the mic to be canceling noise, but my dog is here asking for go outside, but she can wait a little bit. Let's see. So this is how you do it. Also, this is the way that you do it, like casino style. Everyone shuffles the cards like that. I like to do it that way here on YouTube because it's cleaner, it's faster, and it doesn't make a mess. And that's the first way. Or at least that's the one I use the most. And then the one I was taught to make sure that the cards are what needs to be, reversals are what needs to be, is the one I was taught, which is just on a circular way. When you're doing this for somebody else, you can always present them this way and start shuffling and let them finish. Let your consultant finish. But if you do this, then you make sure that all the cards are reverse or upright, depending the person that you're reading to. And also, this is a way. It's like a psychic test for your consultant, because if they are usually going into the left, that means that in their mind they are always thinking about the past and don't know how to do, or are troubled about something in their past. If they are doing the other way around, maybe it's that sense that your person is worried about the future. That's not the way to read, but psychological. That's the test. And also, it's a nice way to release the tension and let the deck. It's a nice way to release the tension. But as I say, I do not like to give the cards to anyone else because they tend to be really rough on the card. So there, now they are all properly mixed. You can always just accommodate them back to you, and then you could either ask for the consultant to make the cut, or you can do it your own. And the cut is important because it lets you know the psychological state of the person on your mind. Usually, the bottom of the deck when you're reading for somebody else represents the person you are reading to, not the question. The person you are reading to, not the question. And that's nice to take into consideration. If you're reading for yourself, it also represents you, not the person you're asking about, you. So this is the other way. And then how to handle over, you can just do this. You put them face down. This is a traditional way. You put them face down and you ask the consultant to take the cards and you receive them. Remember that the cards are upright or upfront just for you. They are reversals just for you who are doing the reading. So 3 methods that they are the most likely used. If you want all the cards to be upright, you do not need to change them. The last method, like this, clockwise or unclockwise, whatever you want, you'll always get reversals. I like reading reversals, but if you don't, then if someone comes reverse, you just change it and it doesn't matter, because the cards are how you are meant for you to read. If you're reading the cards, it doesn't matter. You change. I mean, you change them, you put them upright, and that's no big deal because it's the cards are meant for you. When you're giving your energy to the cards responds to you. And if you do not read reversals, then it doesn't matter if they are reversed, you change them. If you do like reversals, which I do because they give more information, I take them. But if you don't want, you just change it. It doesn't matter. So again, there are 3 ways mostly to shuffle your cards. What's important is that you do take care of your own deck and you do not let anyone be rough on your card. That's what I do not recommend, to hand over your deck to anyone. Just let them pick the cards. Just let them pick the cards, and that's enough. You don't need to let them shuffle if you don't want to. It's perfectly okay not to leave your cards to anyone if you don't want to. That's okay, and it's nice for you to take that into consideration, because there is a lot of misunderstandings or rumors that no, because you need to infuse your your energy, and the cards responds to you, not the reader, no, not the consultant. They respond to you, and that's always good to take into consideration. So, to summarize, we have mostly 3 ways. To me, the most effective is the last one, but 3 ways. The simplest, which is just go like this, and do it until you realize, or when you're shuffling this way, something in your mind will tell you that's okay, we don't need enough, and you'll know when. And if you do it fast enough, cards will jump. This is the first one. Cards will jump. If you start doing like this and go fast and fast and fast, they will. They will. See? They will. They will jump off the deck. They will. If you want to do this only with cards that are upright, you do not need to change anything. If you want to make sure you have cards that are reversal, you just flip one half of the deck, and you'll make sure they are reversed. You just need to shift one half of the deck, and that's enough. Or then you can do the casino style, which you cut the deck and then you just do it like this. If you are doing this long enough, cards won't be damaged because you'll get thicker skin here, and then you can do it with every deck and nothing will damage them. But you can also start like this, and then you make sure that if you're doing this long enough, eventually they will get damaged a bit. But if you do it like one time facing you, one time facing the camera, or facing the other way, they won't get damaged. So this way, nice and easy, and I like it. And I like it because it's all the cards get shuffled like in a more in a less chaotic way, because it's 1-on-1. So that's why I like it. This is. Let's see. When you do it, they tend to shuffle and they tend to jump. They tend to jump a lot, so that's how they do it. It's not a spirit, it's because you are being loose without realizing it. You are let them go, the cards you need. So don't get freaked about, oh, spirit choose this card for me. This is not mediumship, it's card shuffling. Some people like to believe that, and they got that illusion makes them read. They think that illusion makes them better reader. In my case, it never happened, but for some people they do. And sometimes I do believe that that's meant to be like, oh, that's a card, because sometimes I do take that in consideration, but mostly I don't get that feeling. If I do, I say it. If I do, I say it, but mostly not. Well, to me, the most effective card is the method is the one where you just put all your cards like I showed it before. And the other thing I wanted to let you know, I had to let the other person, if you're reading for somebody else, instead of handling your deck, as I said, you just put them face down and ask them to choose. And then you look, because mostly if they they do it with both hands, that tends to mean that they are a bit anxious, and it's like, but they also can take your answer in a most dynamic way that they are more adaptive. Usually, when they do not, that means that they are anxious. Some people like to believe that. Oh, see, we have a friend in here. Usually, if a person just is doing this with the deck and the deck got, you can also um you can also, I'm sorry, this is what I want to say. You can also ask them to cut and then just ask them to put them face down for themselves like this. And if the deck got cut, that means that something is blocking the reading, in the sense that you are asking for someone that's not in communication with the partner, or the situation has been cut. But that's okay. That's why I told you that you can leave them to somebody else. If the cards shuffles, if the cards got mostly they are easy to slide, that means that the reading is going to flow well, or everything regarding the question is well. You can ask. This is not a spread reading, but that's something to take in consideration after you shuffle. And remember that the bottom of the deck energy is your consultant, no the other person, know what they're asking about. The bottom of the deck energy is what they are your consultants reading, and you can always just do another cut to see if you need clarification or you don't understand what's going on. You can always just do this to ask for a clue and another reading. I'm sorry I start rambling by the end, but that's the ways. I hope you find this video not illuminating, but I hope you did like it. If you want to see more of this how to, you can always let me know. Oh, I just thought this video went too long. I'm sorry I wasn't paying attention to the time. But yes, those are the 3 ways. If you need more clarification, you can always ask. I don't know. I haven't searched YouTube to see if there are enough. That's usually the way I do it. So thank you very much. We'll be seeing each other soon. Bye.